Hey guys, the Lord here, back in with another action figure review, and today, continuing the heavy metal themed reviews here, we kind of kick things off with that DC Multiverse Lobo set, and then yesterday we had the Cradle of Filth figures from FigBiz and or Insomniac, whichever you prefer. But today we're going to be taking a look at the Motörhead Ultimate Lemmy Kilmeister, quote-unquote, young Lemmy Kilmeister. Notice, no cowboy hat. Brought to us by the fine folks over at Super7, and I gotta tell ya, Super7 gets a lot of flack for a lot of reasons. A lot of them justified, but one thing I can't fault them for is giving us some of the best heavy metal themed action figures, period. Because up until this point, there was only one Lemmy Kilmeister figure, and yes, I do have it. I got it from Mr. Brian, aka the Old Man, aka my dad, for Christmas several years ago. I'm not even sure who made this, but this is like a staction figure. It's got very basic articulation. His lower arms swivel, his head rotates, and his waist rotates. Really nice base. Is it a Schumacher? It's actually stringed, and the strap is very well sculpted and detailed and whatnot, more so than the Super7 ones, but a good figure for its time. You know, it got the job done. It looked like Lemmy. I can't say it felt like Lemmy or smelled like Lemmy, but or sounded like Lemmy. It's no batteries included, but a very nice Lemmy figure for the shelf. I stuck him right next to the McFarlane Kiss figures and pretty much called it a day. But now we have this really nice articulated Lemmy from the fine folks over at Super7, and we're going to talk about it because he does come with quite a bit of accessories, but there's more to this figure than just the accessories, although that's a big part of it. So, kicking things off, he does come with several pairs of hands. Comes with two hands for playing his bass guitar. One with a pick sculpted in it. The other one to hold the neck. Most likely that's the set of hands I'm going to use. That said, he also comes with a pair of, and this is pretty funny, if I can find the other one, what the heck happened to it? There it is. Cigarette holding hands. Because let me tell you what, boy, other than Ozzy Osbourne, I don't know another heavy metal frontman that had more artificial ingredients in him than a Baby Ruth. Lemmy Kilmeister had it all going on, but he never messed with heroin. Like, this guy did more drugs than most people can do and not die from an overdose. And he didn't screw with heroin. So maybe, just maybe, kids, don't screw with heroin. Because if this guy didn't do it, maybe you shouldn't either. That said, he does have a pair of grip hands with the correct hinges for holding stuff. He's got the incorrect hinges on him, which is weird because he doesn't come with open hands, but he does come with plenty of grip hands. And he also comes with a pair of fists. Now, I'm not sure if Lemmy ever had to knock the crap out of somebody, but he is wearing rings, so if he did, I'm sure it'd leave a mark. He comes with one of the best accessories, too. A freaking bottle of Jack. Because this is his favorite beverage to consume. Like, he had his mail delivered to the local bar. Like, it's pretty hilarious. That said, I don't condone drinking, especially if you have to drive afterwards. That said, he does come with two extra heads. He comes with a head with his hair a bit windswept there, as well as one with a pair of aviators. Now, I know Imagine young Lemmy with aviators. That's more of a modern thing. So I'm probably just going to keep the head that's on him right now. It's the head I use. You can do whatever. It's your figure. You have the power. The world is in your hands and at your mercy. So remember, don't break your toys. Said, of course, he comes with his Schumacher bass. I think it's a Schumacher. If it's not, please correct me in the comments. I'm not a guitar whiz by any means. I can't play. The only guitar I ever played was the Guitar Hero controller, so that should tell you a lot about my knowledge about the instrument, but there you go. Schumacher bass, no amp. Which kind of sucks, because I know one of the reaction figures even came with an amp. And that would be a nice accessory to have, because we don't have one yet. In this scale, anyways, that I know of. And then, of course, we get his freakishly tall mic stand, which is absolutely insane. I love this accessory, but I don't know if I'm going to use it. It's got the wire and everything. It's a really nice mic stand. I don't know if this wire is even glued. It might just be wrapped around this thing. That said, I'm not going to uncoil it. I think it's fine the way it is. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, sucker. So, setting that aside, let's take a closer look at the man of the hour, Mr. Lemmy Kilmeister. Not my mind's eye view of him at all, to be quite frank. I'm more familiar with the modern, like, old man Lemmy. He looks like a cowboy. He's got the hat and everything going on. Now, I've seen him back in the day with the cowboy hat, but he was more or less known for looking like, well, the older figure I brought out a minute ago, or this. So, this is fine. He's got a real, like, fabric shirt, so very Mezco-y of Super7 to do that. I would say be careful when swapping the heads with this, I don't know what you want to call this, but this kind of decal-esque tampo on his chest there. With the War Pig, the Motörhead logo on top. You don't want to rub that off. I don't think you will, but just some food for thought. That said, he does have his tattoos on his arms. I already mentioned he's got the rings on his fingers. He's got the cysts on his face. Oh, man. He's got what looks to be a bullet belt, maybe? Around his waist there. So him and King Diamond buy their belts from the same place, I take it. He's got white shoes, which I always thought was odd. I think he'd have black shoes, but very, very nice figure. Very, very nice. I will say, I had to heat up this bicep, both elbows, and I think this knee on mine. So I did have to do a fair share of heating up before I could really mess with this guy, but after that, he worked fine. So, as far as articulation goes, he's got the double ball peg in the head, but because of the hair, it's pretty hindered. He can look side to side, though. Shoulders can go out. I don't know how far exactly. I can get him out about that far without the shirt being a problem. I will say this shirt might get caught in the shoulder socket, so be wary of that, maybe. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's a nice, thick material that doesn't feel like it is going to fray or tear very easily. It feels very nice, very high-end fabric on the shirt. Though I am surprised they went with a cloth shirt instead of just putting a joint there and making it out of plastic. But whatever. He does have a bicep swivel, as well as a swivel in the elbow with a hinge. I think he's got a cyst on his arm here. That or mine's got a weird mold thing, but I'm not going to mess with that. He does have a swivel in the wrist with a hinge. And then he does have a diaphragm joint that can go back. You can kind of see his belly button there, which is kind of funny. You can go forward. Again, be careful with this shirt. It can tilt a little bit, and it can rotate. Mine was a little loose out of package, but after finicking with it a bit and finding that sweet spot, it's fine. He does have a waist twist. It works fine. He does have T-jointed hips that can kick out not very far. He doesn't have like the softest diaper, if at all. I don't even think he has a diaper. But you can kick his legs out a little bit. I mean, it is Lemmy. He doesn't need to be doing, freaking ninja moves or anything. He's got a thigh cut there. Single knee, which can get about that far. Let me see. Yeah, it's about that far. So a little less than 90. He does have a swivel below the knee, which I'm not a fan of, but aesthetically, it looks a little better than if they didn't do that, maybe. And then he does have a ball hinge foot. So it rotates, it hinges back and forth. Not a ton because of his pants. And then he does have a rocker and some peg holes at the bottom of the feet. If you need help getting him to stand. But I get him to stand pretty okay. It's not that big of a chore, so it should be relatively easy for you as well. But that's Lemmy in a nutshell. I like this figure a lot, man. It's freaking Lemmy. You can't go wrong with Lemmy. Without Lemmy and Motörhead, we wouldn't have bands like Metallica and Megadeth and Slayer and, you know, all the stuff I like. So, props out to Motörhead. Not my favorite band ever, but, you know, you got to give respect where it's due. And Lemmy Kilmeister is the man. It sucks that he's no longer with us, but it's surprising to me that we had him as long as we did. So, appreciate, you know, your elders while you can, because you don't know what you got till it's gone. So, you know, while we're shouting people out here, shout out to Rob Halford and King Diamond for still kicking it, you know. With that being said, speaking of the aforementioned King Diamond, we're going to bust him out and take a look at some size comparisons with good old Lemmy Kilmeister here. First up, here is good old Lemmy Kilmeister alongside another bassist. What a bassist from Super7. Cliff Burton from Metallica. Yeah! So stay tuned. Later today, I'll be posting a video review of him. That said, we also have the Ultimate King Diamond 2.0, complete with bone cross, microphone in hand, and the devil horns in the air, along with this crazy super 70s Arthur Brown AF looking robe. I still like this King Diamond though. I think he might be a contender for one of the top figures of the year, because A, it's frickin' King Diamond, and B, I do really like the figure, and would rather give him the spot, even though he is kind of a repeat offender when you think about it. I did put the first King Diamond on whatever year he came out in. Was it 2021? I think it was the same year as Kickstarter Spawn and the big giant Violator and Goliath from NECA, right? I don't remember exactly, but love this King Diamond. Love this King Diamond. I'm a massive King Diamond fan since college, so sue me. But getting those two out of here. You got to see those matching bullet belts too. This King Diamond's rocking one. This of course would not be one of my reviews without bringing in the Mythic Legions. Excuse me. Frog. No. There's no frog in my throat, I assure you. But Brother Mandibulith, of course, and the infamous 11th Spawn, who was about, I think, neck and neck with Lemmy. He's being a little teeter-tottery here. Come on, man. Lemmy doesn't get like drunk like that too, so I don't know what's up with that. But him and Al Simmons are about the same height, I would say. Lemmy was a taller guy in real life, so that's why he's a little taller than Cliff, and about, I think a little taller than King Diamond, but not by a ton. But with all that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and while this may not be my mind's eye view of the late great Lemmy Kilmeister of Motörhead, there's no denying that it is still good old Lemmy Kilmeister from Motörhead, right down to the cysts, because this guy just oozes Lemmy Kilmeister. He's got the tats, he's got the rings, he's got his bass, he's got his really frickin' tall mic stand. He's even got cigarettes and Jack Daniels. Like, what more do you want? If your answer to that is cysts, well, I already said he's got those. So, you got all your bases covered. Only thing really missing is the cowboy hat, but that wasn't until later on. Although there is an old video, I think they did a cover of God Save the Queen, where he is wearing a cowboy hat, but he doesn't have his iconic mustache and mutton chops. He is clean shaven, which is a very rare thing to see with Lemmy. And Lemmy without mutton chops, well, it's like Captain America without his shield. You just can't have one without the other. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And until next time, I will catch you guys later.